Hello Klein families, welcome to our video. Home is where the heart is. How to build positive parent-child relationships. My name is Megan Blakey and I am the school counselor at Benford Elementary. I have had the privilege of serving in the Benford community for the past 13 years and prior to that worked in Spring ISD. I also have 2 children of my own who attend Klein schools and I myself am a Klein ISD graduate. It is a joy and a privilege to be able to serve in the community that I grew up in and to support students in their educational journey. In Klein ISD, all students enter with a promise and exit with a purpose. Building relationships is a key component to our district vision. We know that relationships between students and educators and parents and students ultimately have a huge impact on how our students succeed in school. We also know that it's key to build community with our families and our community by engaging, educating, and equipping families and being culturally responsive. Today we are going to talk about tips and ideas to help you build and maintain a strong, positive relationship with your child. Although building a positive relationship with your child might seem like a given at first, anyone who has been a parent can attest to the fact that relationship building with your child can often prove to be more challenging than it seems. Whether you are the parent of a teenager who seems distant, or an 8-year-old who only wants to watch YouTube videos, keeping a strong, positive parent-child relationship can be challenging. It is so important to do so in order to build confidence in our children. When we speak positively to our children, we build confidence in them about who they are and who they are becoming. We're creating a safe environment where they know that they can take risks and fail and still be supported and loved. We're also setting the tone for other relationships that they may have later on in life. When they see and hear how we treat them and how we treat others, we're setting an example for what they should expect for themselves and how they should treat other people as they go through life. In addition, it has a positive impact for all of us. Parenting positively is beneficial for children and for parents, as our homes will be filled with more positive energy, they'll be a fun place to be, and we can all be excited about waking up and spending time together in a fun, caring, loving household. As we get started in this presentation, please be kind to yourself. Let go of any guilt you may have about not being a positive parent or feeling like maybe you've done something wrong. As Maya Angelou says, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. There are no perfect parents. We are all striving to do the very best that we can for our children. So don't feel guilty about anything that's happened before now. After watching this video, take some of the things that you've learned and move forward and know that you are doing an amazing job. Take small steps. When we're working to make changes, especially when we have built some habits around what we're used to doing, it's important that we do things a little bit at a time. That will help us get closer to achieving our goals in the long run. It's also important to start each day or even each moment new. If something negative happens or something doesn't go just the way you hoped it would, that's okay. We have our next moment to get back in and focus on being the positive parent that we want to be. Finally, be yourself. When you're working to become more positive or to speak more positively to your children, you still want it to sound very authentic and very you. So as we go through this slide deck and as we talk about different ways that you can be a more positive parent, think about how that would sound for you or how your kids might receive that and make sure that it works for you and your family. The first way that we can be more positive parents is to make sure that we are choosing our words wisely. As the adults, we need to be mindful of our own energy and emotions. When we're frustrated or upset, we're more likely to say things or do things that can be hurtful or harmful to our children. So it's really important that we take a break when needed. If you know that you're upset and you might say something or do something that you might feel bad about later, take a pause. Take a few minutes away and come back to that situation when you feel like you're really ready to handle it. Keep in mind that if what you're saying is helping your child or hurting them. Although we can become frustrated at times and say things that we don't mean, our words can have a lasting impact on our children. So no matter how frustrated or upset we may feel, we need to model to them how we can handle those strong emotions in a way that's helpful and show them that if they're feeling that way, they can do the same things that we're doing, like taking a break, taking a breath, pausing, and choosing their words wisely before they move forward. Speaking of setting a good example for our children, our second tip is to model the behavior that you want to see. The first way that we can do that is by being a present listener. From the time children begin to utter their first words, they are eager to share parts of their world with us. Although the things they tell us can seem trivial and can be easy to tune out, listening to the things our children tell us, no matter how small, shows them that we care about them and what they are experiencing. Also, the more that parents can listen to the small things that a child shares, the more willing they might be to share the more significant things that happen, especially as they get older. In addition, this also means that it's time to put the phones and devices away. It can be so easy to check emails or respond to a quick text message while you are playing together or spending time with your child. But doing this can give them the idea that you would rather be doing something else. The next way that we can model the behavior that we want to see is to apologize when it's appropriate. Obviously, no parent is perfect, and an important step in building a great relationship with your child is making sure they know that you acknowledge that fact. When you make a mistake, whether it is forgetting something on their schedule or raising your voice, an apology can go a long way. When they see that you, the authority figure in the family, are willing to be humbled enough to apologize, they will see that you care about the way they are impacted by your decisions. It is also another opportunity to model the behavior that you want them to practice. Finally, we want to show respect by hearing their ideas and also do what you say you will do. It's important to take steps to build a culture of trust with your child. This can be done by making sure you do what you say you will do and that you honor the values that your family has established. By doing this, you will show your child that they can count on you and that you are a safe person in their life. Our next tip for positive parenting is to spend time together, and there are several ways that we can do that. The first one is to take an interest in what your child enjoys. What the time with your child looks like can vary from family to family, child to child, or even day to day. It is important that you take time to enter their world and take an interest in what they are interested in. For example, if your child enjoys being outside, find a new trail to hike together. If your child enjoys watching superhero movies, pop some popcorn and enjoy them together. Taking an interest in what your child enjoys shows that they are a valuable part of your family. Next, schedule time together. Regardless of how you spend time with your child, it is important that you make it a priority. This means that sometimes you may have to set aside work, chores, or other plans to spend time with your child. Although it can seem inconvenient at times, making this a priority sends a message to your child that they are important and that time with them is what you value most. Finally, be sure to have fun and be silly. I want to encourage you to not be afraid of being silly or having fun. Is your child attached to their phone? Maybe make a fun video for them to share on social media. Does your child love sports? Take a classic sport and add your own rules. There are plenty of ways to relax and just enjoy being together. We know that laughter is the best medicine, so spending time as a family having fun and laughing is a great way to build that positive relationship that you want to have with your child. Our final tip for building a positive relationship with your child is to give specific recognitions. Here in Klein ISD, we are blessed to be able to incorporate the Nurtured Heart approach into our teaching with children. The Nurtured Heart approach is a relationship-building approach that helps us connect with students by pointing out all the great things that we see about them. An easy way to do this is to say what you see. Our brains tend to focus on what's going wrong and try to correct them. But in this approach, we want to see what's going right. So when your child wakes up, or walks into the kitchen, or starts making breakfast, you can point out to them that you see them getting up, you see them getting ready. You're speaking life into some moments that normally would just otherwise pass by. As an added bonus, you can add a character trait that you would like to see more in your child. Maybe you would like to see more respect. Try to focus in on seeing when they are being respectful and point that out to them. So if your child answers you politely, or says okay, or takes care of something right away, a great recognition would be to give them to say, I see that you responded so respectfully. Thank you for answering in a quiet voice. I like that you took care of that right away. You really showed initiative. So you're showing them that you see them, and you're telling them what you see about them. They will take that in and then start to believe that about themselves, that they are a respectful child, that they can do what's right, that they're cooperative. The more specific we can be, the more genuinely they're going to take those words in, and that they will become a part of who that child is. Now that we've gone through these tips for positive parenting, where do you go from here? The first step is to be intentional. It takes time to make changes, and it takes a lot of practice. So be intentional when you wake up each day of how you're going to talk with your child and how you're going to interact with them. Try 1 or 2 things. Maybe try telling them 3 recognitions that you see about them, or set up a game time or a fun time for you to do something together. Take 1 or 2 things that really resonated with you and start implementing them slowly. They will add up quickly, and you will start to see a difference with your relationship with your child. Finally, practice giving recognitions. It's not something that we're used to doing. So the only way to get more comfortable with it is to do it more often. Think about what you would like to see in your child, look at what's going right, and be sure to point those things out. At first, it might sound a little silly to them, or maybe they won't really be sure what's going on, but the more you stick with it, the more that they will appreciate hearing those things from you. If you have older kids and you're not sure how they'll respond to that, you can even text them or message them. There's always an opportunity and a way to reach them in a way that works for you and them as you are building those relationships together. I'd like to let you know about a few resources that can help you continue your learning about positive parenting. The first one is you can always contact your school counselor. As counselors, we are available to talk with students and parents and help support them in whatever way that they need. Please reach out to your school counselor if you'd like more ideas or tips about how to positively parent. The Nurtured Heart approach can be found at childrensuccessfoundation.com. The website is full of different ideas of how to work with your child and a free 1-hour course to help you learn more about the approach and how you can implement it. Finally, please check out the Klein ISD website and look at the tab for Counseling and Whole Student Wellness. There are additional resources there for parents and students as they are on their journey to positive parenting and building positive relationships. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video today. It really shows your commitment and dedication to positive parenting that you spent your time learning and investing in how to support your children. I hope that the information in this video is helpful and that you're able to continue using it in your parenting journey.